In the early 2010s, Old Spice pulled off one of the most iconic rebrands in marketing history. It took a fading, old-fashioned men's grooming brand, the kind your grandpa might have used, and turned it into a viral powerhouse across the internet. Old Spice's new identity was loud, funny, and ridiculously confident. Its commercials exaggerated everything about traditional masculinity: ripped guys and horses, impossible stunts, random explosions, and deep, smooth voices saying things like, "Smell like a man, man." It wasn't just selling deodorant, it was selling the idea of being effortlessly powerful and a version of masculinity that both felt ironic and cool at the same time. That confidence, mixed with humor, made Old Spice stand out from every other brand on the shelf. Through viral YouTube ads and clever social media marketing, Old Spice became the king of early 2010s meme culture. Sales skyrocketed, and suddenly, a brand no one cared about became the definition of manly freshness. After dominating the 2010s, Old Spice started to fall off as meme culture evolved and audience moved on. Back then, its random humor, wild visuals, and exaggerated confidence perfectly matched the early internet, a time where absurd, over-the-top content ruled YouTube and became instant meme material. But as online culture matured, that same style started to feel really repetitive and disconnected. People didn't want just jokes anymore, they wanted personality and authentic stories that actually felt human. Instead of evolving with the shift, Old Spice leaned too heavily on collaborations and celebrity cameos to stay relevant. Football players, influencers, and cross-promotion brought in views, but they didn't build connection. People remembered the athlete but not the deodorant itself. The brand that once led internet started chasing trends instead of setting them. So the result? A company still recognizable, but no longer culture defining. Now that we understand where Old Spice came from and why its old identity doesn't click with the younger audience, it's time to evolve the story. The goal isn't to rebuild it from scratch, but to refresh what already made Old Spice iconic. The humor, the charm, the confidence that once defined the brand still work to this day. They just need a modern voice. This rebrand keeps the same playful, bold foundation, but updates it for today's culture. New faces, new platforms, and a digital-first approach that connects directly with Gen Z through short-form content. To lead this new era, we introduce fresh faces who already embody the humor, style, and confidence that define the next generation. One standout is Marlon, a creator who's practically built for this rebrand. He's not just popular, he's a personality that lives in internet culture. People joke that Marlon needs to be nerfed because of how naturally charismatic and attractive he is. That's exactly the kind of self-aware meme energy that Old Spice was built on, but with a modern twist. Marlon's digital presence across streaming, TikTok, and social media in general makes him perfectly in sync with Gen Z's humor and short-form content style. His realness connects with younger audiences, while his charm and confidence still resonate with the older fans who grew up with the original Old Spice ads. He's not just replacing Isaiah Mustafa, he's evolving the same ironic and iconic charisma for a new generation. Marlon bridges both eras, the confident, over-the-top Old Spice attitude, and the cool, self-aware style that defines today's culture. So to bring this rebrand to life, I designed 3 possible Old Spice promotion ads featuring Marlon. These are surface level mock-ups, a small glimpse of what a new era of Old Spice could look like. You can really see how well Marlon and Old Spice fit together. The overall look feels refreshing, like a clean reset for the brand. Marlon's presence instantly modernizes the image, and honestly, he just looks in place. People literally joke about him being too attractive, and that charm translates perfectly into the bold, confident vibe Old Spice has always gone for. Now imagine Marlon in short-form contests across TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, platforms where Gen Z actually lives on, and his clips already pull millions of views because people genuinely connect with his energy and personality. So picture that kind of engagement tied to Old Spice, real viewers, real reactions, and not just empty numbers like how Old Spice current YouTube ads still pull millions of views, but when you look closer, 4 million views and barely 100 likes, it tells a story. The reach is there, but the connection isn't. The audience isn't interacting, they're just scrolling past. So with Marlon and a rebrand built around his authenticity, humor, and modern storytelling, that changes. People wouldn't just see Old Spice, they'll feel it. They'll understand the shift, recognize the new era, and once again see Old Spice as a cultural leader instead of a nostalgic brand from the past. Old Spice was once marketed mainly towards women. It was built around the idea that women would buy their product for their partners. The brand tone revolved around what women found attractive rather than how men saw themselves, but times have changed and so have audiences. The rebrand shifts Old Spice focus back to young men and teens, speaking directly to them instead of through someone else, like a woman buying a product for them. And this new direction celebrates self-confidence, individuality, and humor in a way that connects with today's culture. By embracing modern platforms and faces like Marlon, Old Spice becomes more than a fragrance, it becomes part of how a new generation expresses itself. So now that we understand Old Spice rebrand and its shift to a new era, let's go into the SWOT analysis. So let's start with the strengths. It's very authentic to Marlon. His natural charisma and relatability make the brand feel human again, and he's not acting, he's just being himself, and it really resonates with the Gen Z craving for realness, and I feel like that's a very strong part in his rebrand. It's a fresh yet familiar tone. It's a new face. He isn't really replacing Isaiah Mustafa, he's just replacing that face. It needs a little freshness, and I feel like to keep all the same values that made it iconic back then and to move it into 2025 is exactly what Old Spice should do and what we're going to do, but with a new face like Marlon, who's so influential in the internet right now. And that ties into one of the strengths is that Marlin's digital presence is huge right now, and I feel like Old Spice can capitalize on that. Although I personally feel like this rebrand is great, there's also some weaknesses that come with it, and one of them is a risk on personality. They over rely on Marlin himself, and I feel like if the campaign leans too heavily on that aspect, it can lose some flexibility once trends or influencers shift in, the internet and just society itself. I also believe when this transition into new era starts happening, there's going to be some initial skepticism. Like some older audiences might see the change as abandoning the tradition or feeling detached from influencer culture. As Marlon being as big as he is, there's also opportunities for collaborations with other influencers, other creators, and behind the scenes content that Old Spice can share to the audience. And it's beyond just a product, but more of a lifestyle and reach new demographics. And I feel like it can possibly open up some doors for women to have some products, and that's just an opportunity that could be presented in the near future. Some of the threats that come with this rebrand is that audience can burn out. They've seen these influencers and social media creators be so authentic in their own content, and we've seen them in ads may feel unauthentic because it's a promotional video. There's also a potential that the influencers could die off, which is unlikely, but we've seen social media be so fast in trends, like they go up and down, and Old Spice rebrand has to capitalize on the highs and expand on those memes and trends to keep it going. And also, I feel like there's also so many other competitive brands like Axe, Gillette, Dove, also pivoting towards the influencer marketing. But the difference is that Old Spice holds a position no other competitor can copy. We have history. No, any brand can hire influencers or run slick commercials, but no one has our history. So when Old Spice was being seen, but it wasn't truly felt, and I feel like this was after the 2010s, its ads did reach millions, but its audiences weren't engaged or connected or identifying with the brand. But by rebranding and bringing in Marlon, a creator who naturally embodies humor, charisma, and confidence, we've given Old Spice a way to actually resonate with today's generation and moving forward. And it isn't about reach or views. Yes, that's important, but the most important part about creating a brand is making it feel live and relatable and culturally relevant to society. And with this rebrand, I feel like we've done that and we've stayed true to the values of the bold and playful personality that once made it iconic. And we brought those values forward and we just got a new face. So, yeah, we are the OG confidence marketing. We invented a viral, humorous male grooming ad, and we can evolve this and make a new legacy and move it to the new generations. And we aren't losing what made it unforgettable in the past. And yeah, thank you for watching.